Hey y'all, Backwoods Modeler here. Welcome back to my workshop. Today I thought we'd do a truck build, and fastest thing I could think of to come up with to build is more of a swap. We're going to swap these two trucks around. We're going to make it a quad cab, crew cab, short bed, and then we're going to turn that single cab into a dually. I've already done one of these in white. I've also built a couple of other single cab dualies, but this is a pretty easy truck to build. Once I pop them apart, I'll show you. I'm going to definitely wipe off the Pan Am on the sides. Blue is the worst color ever to get off of white, especially on these M2 trucks. So that's depending on how easily the doors come clean. It's going to depend on whether or not I even attempt to mess with the roof. Other thing, any of you guys out there that have this truck, you guys notice that this ladder rack is something wrong going on here, Fred. Why on earth is the post on the passenger side right behind the fender well, and the post on the driver's side is all the way back in the corner where they normally put them? Anybody know the reason for that? Is there another version of this truck with something on the side? What is going on with those holes? Anybody out there know? Can tell me? So anyway, we are going to strip this baby down and get going here. So I won't bore you with stripping them or taking it apart. If you guys have done this before, you can see M2 is the easiest one. They've got screws in the front and in the rear. Short bed has 3 screws in it though. One in the back, one in the middle, and one in the front. So that's all there is to popping these babies apart. So I'm not going to bore you with that. So I'll be back. Okay, y'all. So I popped the screws out of it, and we're going to pop them apart now. Now what we need to do is we need to pop out these 2 rivets on either side, which won't take but a second. I can do that real fast. Just go nice and slow. There's no reason to be in a rush here. When you get into a rush, that's when you start making mistakes. Okay, that should be enough. She's almost, there we go. So I got that one apart. Now this one, need to be a little more gentle with this one, just because we don't want to snap off the ladder rack. So I always stick my finger in here to kind of give the back a little bit of support. I guess I can't do that either. Alrighty. That one's out. That one feels like it's out. Okay. So now we got them apart. Now these things swap pretty easily. It's kind of funny how quick they swap. These I'll have to drill out a little bit, but I'm sorry guys. I bet I did every bit of that off camera, didn't I? So that's what we're going to end up with here. I got to drill these holes out a little bit better to get, or just cut these tabs off. We'll get them back together, and then that's going to be our crew cab short bed. And then this one will be our single cab dually. It's a huge ladder rack on that truck, isn't it? It's going to stick way out over there. That's all right. I remember them looking like that. I grew up, my dad and my uncle were both roofers, and I remember their ladder rack stuck way out over the cab, so that looks about appropriate. Still can't get over that ladder rack, why they made it like that. Really would like to know the reason behind that. Anyway, let me see if we can't get the blue off of these things, and then we'll go from there. This is going to be a really quick, short, easy build, guys, because we're going to use the original chassis for the dually, and then we're going to put the other cab on there, and it's going to bolt right on there like it's supposed to. So all we have to do is shorten this chassis. and then we'll put it back together and it'll be just like new. So I need to decide how to make those cuts. This truck I'm not going to finish building in this video because I need to get a different chassis for that. I want to jack that up and make that a four-wheel drive. I want it to look like the jacked up M2, so that one we're going to do in a different video. This one I'm going to finish now. What we're going to do here at this point is I need to determine where our cuts are going to be. And the cuts are always going to be, for me anyway, normally right about middle of the cab. This way we can use the interior of the truck after we glue that in, and then we'll use that to help glue the rest of the truck back together, and then we'll just slap her together. Let me figure out where we're going to make these cuts. I'll probably go ahead and make the cuts just because it's noisy and I can't do anything. You can't hear me anyway. So let me make these cuts and I'll be right back, guys. Alright, y'all, we'll do this slow and easy so maybe you can figure out exactly the way I'm building this. So we got the front cut. This was kind of easy because of the Pan Am, they have that white mark that goes down through there. That's where I judged my mark on both sides. So it made it easy to make a nice straight cut across by just using those two. As you can see there, I said nice straight cut. Does that look straight to you? That's nowhere near straight. So see, this is what I wanted to show you is that was a screw up that I made, but that's going to be okay because we still have to cut this. So that gives me a chance to straighten this out before I make my other cut to make sure that it's nice and straight and square. So just be careful when you make your cut and don't do what I did and cut it crooked. So the way I'm going to fix that is partly I'm going to do a little bit of chipping away with my Dremel to get the high side, and then I'll finish it off with my flat file, just dragging it across the flat file nice and flat and even. Make sure your file is on a nice flat surface so that when you start filing you start going this way, and then you see I'm tipping up on my file. See if I can get this up here. See how crooked that is? So you want to favor this side, but not a whole lot because you don't want to round off this corner either. So you just want to nice and straight and just keep favoring this side, keep it tipped up a little bit, and eventually that'll wear down. So I'm not going to sit here and bore you with my 50,000 passes that I'm about to make here, so I'll be back, y'all. Okay, y'all, so I straightened this out. As you can see, fits in there a lot better, looks a lot more square in there now. So what we do now is determine where we're gonna cut the back. So first thing we got to do is put the cab and the bed back together, and this is a tight fit, which is good because you want it to be a tight squeeze. Okay, so now we're back together. Now we just gotta hold it together so it doesn't fall apart. Grab the other half of our chassis, but we want to put it in place where it belongs in the back, and then we come up here, and now you can see where we're going to cut in the front. So we just kind of lift this up a little bit here, and underneath you can see where we're going to cut. You just want to cut it so where it's going to line up evenly with the other one. I know it's kind of hard to see, but remember we're going off of this line right here. It's better to cut it a shade, whatever you want to call it, a little bit longer, because you can always file it down instead of trying to add more to it, which you can't do. So when you make this cut go slow and easy, what I suggest is putting the screws in to both ends. That'll make sure that neither one of them move while you're trying to make your mark, and you'll have a better result that way. So let me mark it, I'll cut it, and then I'll be right back. Alright, y'all, so I've got this cut where I want it. I had it all held together until I turned the camera back on, then I screwed it all up. Anyway, I still need to trim it just a smidgen. Doesn't quite fit, which is good because we'd rather have it too long than too short. So all I have to do is a little bit of filing. I can wiggle the truck and make it go together. I'm that close, but it's just not quite there. So let me do some filing here and we'll get her together and then we'll finish it up. Be right back. All right, y'all, we're back. I'm holding it together because if I don't, it's all going to fall apart. I myself would normally have put the screws back in it already. Like I said, I've got it back where I want it. Problem is I was messing around with it. I don't know if any of you guys noticed it, but got a crack in the windshield, so we're going to have to fix that. Luckily, I may have one or two square bodies around that I can steal a window out of. So let me change the window out of that. And then the plan after that is, which is a good thing I noticed it when I did, because when I do these trucks, I always glue the interior back inside of the cab, which that way when I glue the center, my cut in the middle, it gives me something that'll hold it. If your interior is not glued in, then your truck will wiggle in the middle and eventually it'll break. So that's an important part, is gluing the interior inside of the cab. This way, when you glue your bottom on, everything's nice and solid. So I need to change the window out, which isn't that hard. And then after I get that in, I'll glue the new window in. Then we'll glue the interior in. And then where's the front? The front, we'll get it on. We'll just put a screw in the front and we'll put some glue here in the back. And the same for the bed. We'll put the screw in the back and then we'll put some glue here in the front. And then we'll also glue right here where the bed and the cab meet. We'll put some glue in there. That'll give it even more rigidity. So that way when the truck's done, it's nice and solid and you can roll it around and play with it and do whatever you need to. So let me get all this done and then I will cut back and show you the finished product. I'm also going to wipe off the doors too. Probably will not touch the top because, like I said, I don't think the doors are going to come off very well because of this blue paint on these white trucks. It's just always been a pain in the butt. So I'll be back. All right, guys and gals, she's all set. She's trying to bow a little bit there in the middle, so I put it on a piece of foam to level it out and let it dry. So I'll let it set there for probably overnight because I'm about to go home from here. Let that set there overnight and it should be good. I did a little changing. You see I got the doors wiped off. This side doesn't look so bad. I don't want to turn it around now because I don't want to move it. But the passenger side, you can still see a little bit of faint blue through the inside. So I'm not even going to mess with that roof. We're just not going to touch it. As for that bad boy over there, I now see that one getting painted because I don't want my short bed truck with a blue roof. I just don't like that. So that one's probably going to get repainted. I did a little changing in this truck. I changed the windshield, as you can see. And I also changed the interior. And this one is our donor truck. We stole the interior and the windshield out of it. You see that windshield had a little hairline crack in it right there. I didn't like that, so I had to get rid of it. So luckily I had a few donor trucks, so that's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. That is my short single cab dually. I'm going to put that into work soon. What I need to do now is I need to find some ladders for it. You guys know anywhere that sells ladders that long? Because I have some short ladders that came with some of my Greenlight trucks, but they're barely going to fit the bed. I need something longer, something to haul on here. Y'all got any ideas? Let me know in the comments below. Hope y'all like this build video. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram and check me out on eBay. And y'all come back. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.